everybody, welcome to another edition of PoCommunity. I'm Mike Garboyd and I'm sitting here with Dylan Wilson from Wilson Media Agency. How's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Tell us about yourself, Dylan. Tell us about your business and yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Dylan Wilson. I'm 19 years old. I started the company when I was 18 years old, just over a year ago. To put it in simple terms, we're a marketing agency. We kind of have our niche market. Like we target that small businesses. Somebody once said, we're like the agency for small businesses. We come in at that price point that like small businesses can actually afford. And I mean, with so many small businesses being run by like single owners, single entrepreneurs, or one or two people, like a lot of them need or don't some of them don't even know how much they need until they use our services, like how much they need that like content and social media management, like all that kind of stuff that they kind of neglect and kind of just like assume right off the hop, like, oh, that's for the big businesses, they got the budget, that's for the Pepsis, that's for the Coke, that's for like, those huge brands that kind of can afford that stuff. But yeah, like we've really come in and kind of hit this niche market of that small businesses. Yeah, and then to kind of further expand on what we do, content creation, so video production, photography, and to go a little bit more into that, we kind of have, again, kind of like our niche market. We started off doing like full productions. So what that would kind of mean is like a 1 to 2 minute expensive video, and we deliver that to their client, and they would love it, but it was like um, one post that was like way above the rest of their brand. And we realized it's like what they need is like they need the consistent top quality branding for like every single day. Like they need to show up every single day, not just like once a month or not just like once out of the blue moon. So what we kind of switched doing is for the same, like, we'll just throw a number out there, for $1,000 you could have gotten like one or two like real nice commercials, or we can deliver like 20 small videos and a whole bunch of photos, like professionally up to the same standard of that video, which is like broken up. Now, like that small businesses is like 50 pieces of marketing content for all platforms, email marketing, everything content. And like that just makes it like so much more power, so much more, yeah, like so much more power and fuel to their marketing stuff. Um, and then the next thing we kind of do is we do social media management. So simple, like, but we also do like we come in at that price point, and we've like in an internal we kind of worked it smart to a way to lower our internal costs to kind of drop down the pricing, which in turn drops down the pricing for our clients. So again, we come in at a very affordable rate, and we kind of just manage. And this is for the people who like just don't know or don't want to deal with it. And we kind of take it all over. We always, or pretty much always, combine like our content creation with our social media management, and group it up into one package. It's like affordable, works for the client, works for us. Run that out monthly, and then the last thing we do is just like Facebook and Instagram ads. Simply setting up the campaign, running the ads, seeing results.
Do you find that any certain social media like websites, let's say, but like apps, are they're like ads that you pay for are better than others? Is it like business oriented? Do you find like certain businesses do better?
Yeah, like I definitely think B2C companies perform way better on, more B2C, like consumer uh, platforms. So like if you look at like my LinkedIn profile picture, it's a picture of me with a nice shirt on looking professional. My profile for my Instagram is me sitting there with my hat on backwards, like I don't even know what I was doing. I was at like the lake or something, right?
Uh,
Because that's like that Instagram. Like when people are on Instagram, they're not like they're not tuned into business. Like they're checking out their friends. They're checking out funny videos from Barstool or something like that.
uh,
Like so that's like kind of like the consumer kind of there. So like if you're targeting like, say you got like that mug right there, and you want to target like just regular people, like you're gonna find more regular people, like not necessarily business owners, on Instagram and Facebook. But what I've noticed, and it took a while, and it's kind of recently once we seriously invested in it, where you see the results, it's like if you're a B2B company, a lot of the times like LinkedIn is your spot to go. Like LinkedIn is just all, and it's like I don't, it's like crazy like how you can target people and
oh wow,
stuff,
yeah,
and
it's
like
great.
it's like that's like borderline. Like,
Yeah.
I know Facebook got in trouble for like privacy concerns, but like shit, that's pretty
Yeah,
borderline too. It
you can
seems
like
like,
break it down
yeah, you can
so
like
vividly,
how
right?
many years they've been working in this company
Yeah.
with this job, and like,
Yeah.
and the company is between 5 and 10 employees. It's like crazy. So you can just like pinpoint and like hit your exact target audience. And I mean, you just what I like to do is I just like I don't try to sell. I just try and start conversations, build relationships, and it works much better. Um, One thing I talk about a lot is like there's two types of marketing methods. There's like the push marketing and the pull marketing. Early stage Wilson Media was like push, push, push marketing. Um, it's only till recently where we incorporated like the pull marketing, and it's so much more effective for us. Like push marketing, essentially, you're pushing out your message. So you're just kind of pushing out your message, pushing out your messages. Eventually, you're gonna hit somebody. Eventually, you're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing. You're gonna hit somebody, and yeah, every once in a while, somebody's gonna bite on your offer. Instead, what we like to do is we like to do pull marketing, where pull marketing is like where you just provide value, you provide entertainment, you provide education, and people are like pulled into you, like they're attracted to you, they become loyal to you. Maybe like they're not even a business owner, maybe they just like you, they like social media, they whatever it is, and then you pull these people in, you pull these people in. Now you got like people in your community. So now when these people are all in you, you start to give them like an odd push, like okay, we're going on sale. Okay, this. There's so many people that you're gonna hit with that push that are like genuinely interested.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We just actually found out recently how valuable LinkedIn is. We obviously our co-working space, our niche is media. Kind of, we want artistic people too, like just people that are passionate about the arts and just media. So Instagram in the beginning was a very good tool for
yeah,
reaching out to people. Slowly, like once you reach out to so many people in the area, there's less and less people to find. LinkedIn is literally like search by area, field of work. You can kind of like it's so vivid, like with what how deep you can like find people, and it's been so valuable for us. And you can pay for ads on there, like
yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
can, yeah.
didn't even know that, so that's always good to know. How did you get started doing this, man? Like you're so, as you said, he's 19 years old and he's got this business. It's amazing how far you've come in the years since you started it too. So like it's been difficult times.
Yeah, and I had a strategy
Yeah,
that I thought of during like when COVID was like the world was on lockdown. My hope was that it was going to pay off when COVID kind of released, and for better, like I guess I was right,
yeah,
is the way of putting it. Um, but I'll start farther back than that. So I think it was Mexico 2015, like 2014 Christmas 2014. I got a GoPro. I always like action sports, like snowboarding, wakeboarding, stuff like that, and I was a big time hockey player. So I would use my GoPro, like throw it on my head, just snowboard down the mountain, try and hit a few jumps, stuff like that. But in Mexico 2014, I went, or 2015, I went there, I filmed the whole thing, and then I came back, I put together a video, like worst video you'll ever see in your life. But I mean, it was like not, it's good to watch because it was like that was like video one. So like you see like my latest video, my friends and I went up to the Yukon and like it's like completely different
yeah,
level of production. But after that video, I kind of like really enjoyed making videos and stuff. And like I said, I was a huge time hockey player, so I started like this hockey channel. Um, the first video was titled 13-Year-Old Does the Patrick Kane Stick Handling Challenge. And then it went from that video within like a year and a half, 2 years to over 8,000 subscribers. I was just posting stuff with my GoPro, all this stuff, all the time. And yeah, like being with friends and stuff, we'd always like to make videos. And that was kind of like my love for like making videos and stuff kind of started. I kind of had an entrepreneurial youth. Just to go like briefly, like it was lemonade stands. My family used to have a house up in Kelowna. I would sell lemonade stands, like I'm talking, and then I would like just me natural, kind of being like that creative, kind of like outside the box thinker. Even from that young age, it wasn't just like lemonade. It was like I would try and like new flavors and stuff. But I was 8 years old, so I wasn't very intelligent in the
yeah,
overall schemes. Like, so like literally there's like glass and there's like strawberries. I would like mash up the strawberries and like dump them into the
Yeah,
dump them into the
yeah,
glass. Like they tasted disgusting. So I was probably like price gouging the people up in Kelowna. I was probably selling it for like $2 a glass of crushed strawberries and tap water.
yeah.
um, yeah, and then I kind of, as I got older, when I was 12 years old, I started a company. It was called Dylan's Flying Tackle. I used to like make fishing tackle, fly fishing stuff like that. I sold it through Instagram. I sold it at farmers market, and then when I got older, I started some like e-commerce brands, and this is when I started to like really get into business and stuff. That's where I started to learn like all digital marketing and stuff, and then I dabbled a little bit into like a real, or like I guess all business is real, but it was like a physical, like it was a food vendor business. That was a good experience to kind of learn the others, like, because online business and a food vendor business is like so different. Like I had to get like permits from Fraser Health and all that kind of stuff. I was again at farmers markets, actually the same farmers market that I was selling Dylan's Fine Tackle, and yeah. So then this is kind of when like my entrepreneurial journey started to like really pick up, and it was all those businesses that I did, other than like Dylan's Fine Tackle, like the e-commerce ones, I didn't have like a genuine passion for what the business was doing, and like even one of them, like I was like 17 years old and I was making like good money for a 17-year-old. But the problem was I was selling women's beauty products. I had like no passion actually I'll go even further. I was selling women's beauty products for an absolute rip off to people in Puerto Rico. Like it was just a pure money making scheme.
Yeah.
And like one thing I really believe in is, and it's like I was saying earlier, like how we're that agency for small businesses and we don't rip off our customers. I really believe in like fair value for a fair price. And that was like the complete opposite of that. So I ended up quitting that businesses, and then that was when I was thinking like, well, I'm gonna start a business with like something I like to do. That's when I started. Well, I've been making videos. I always like making videos. I like helping other people. I'm gonna start this company. I'm gonna make videos for other people that'll help them with their marketing. So I then went on to a site called Fiverr. It's like a freelancing site because this is the time like it was before work. I had no money. I was just a hockey player. I spent like 2 to 3 months working for like peanuts
Yeah.
on Fiverr. Like I'm talking like $40 for like a whole video editing project and stuff. Um, Eventually, I made $1,000. Saved up $1,000. I took that $1,000 and bought a camera. Started working for free, working for free, working for free. And then once I kind of had a big enough portfolio, I would go to people, act as if every project I just did was like worth the money, and I would be like, "Oh yeah, well these people paid this much money, so like yeah, that's how much I cost."
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Okay," and that's kind of how I started. And then it's kind of just grown there and there and there. Um, and then obviously, so that was like last October. It kept growing. Really started to pick up right after the new year. Like kind of maybe people had like their marketing budgets, wanted to get some marketing push to the start of the new year, and then everything came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the whole world. But one thing I did, and it kind of paid off. I mean, who knows? Why it's maybe this was it. Maybe this had nothing to do with it. I didn't stop.
Yeah.
So I didn't like just stop and wait for COVID to pass. I just kept working with and shooting and making videos for free. So it like looked like I was still going,
Yeah.
like to the average person, like it looked like I was still going. Like it looked like I was still, you know,
Yeah.
on the ball when even though everything I was doing for free. So that's why and I started to like really build up my audience, stuff like that. So like when COVID kind of stopped, he's like, well, I've been following this guy's been going all the way through. Like this guy's knows something. Like I've been following this guy for the last 3 months because I've been sitting at home on Instagram all day long.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit him up. And so it was kind of like then recently, and you know, like I was saying earlier, we've expanded our services to much beyond just video production.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's kind of here where we are today is kind of right after that COVID. Like it's really like accelerated growth right now.
Yeah, and you were talking about how you like do these almost like packages for small businesses. You love
Yeah,
helping out small businesses, and that's like such a crazy topic. Just small business in general right now is such a crazy topic because obviously there's a ton of businesses shutting down.
yeah,
It's the most stressful time to be an entrepreneur or a business owner. Like it's the most stressful time that in like known recent history. Let's just
yeah,
say, um, but like there's like only so much money to go around with these small businesses. but with marketing and social media marketing and everything being so essential and so key, that is something that either small businesses think they don't have the money for, or
Yeah,
just have never spent money on that. And in reality, right now is probably the best time to put money into that,
yeah,
right? So have you seen a boom, like, since it's kind of like gone not back to normal, but when businesses kind of had to pick up and kind of act like things were normal again because they can't just shut down. The world can't shut
yeah.
down.
Like I think in a lot of I think a lot of business too. Like they realized like when COVID and like they had no storefront, they had nothing. Like if they didn't have a social media, they had nothing. Like they were forgotten about.
Yeah,
But it was those companies that had the social media, were doing contests, were doing engagement things that like stayed relevant through COVID. So when they open back up, it's like, okay, yeah, well, I've been engaging with this business, this coffee shop for the last 3 months on Instagram. I'm gonna go there for my morning coffee.
yeah. It's staying just in the eye of everybody. Was on the internet more than ever. Everybody's on their phones all the time, anyways. But
Yeah,
now like more than ever, people staying home, sitting on their phones all day, uh, and going kind of crazy, wanting to get out again. And it's like if people could keep going and not acting like it's not happening, but just like trying to adapt with the times and go in a direction that you might not have wanted to go in the first place, but now you have to adapt and make it work with these times, because if you can make it work now, once it's over, you should just go. You
yeah,
should
for sure.
blow the hell up. So yeah, you doing this, like you were saying, you're doing this stuff for free during these times, but it keeps those people seeing you
Yeah,
online
and like
constantly.
they don't
No,
know it's for free.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, they
yeah.
do
Well,
now.
I guess they do now. Yeah,
But
so
you
the people
built,
listening, yeah, all that stuff I was doing during COVID, that was all for free.
yeah, but it was quality. So it should have, like, it basically, you kept yourself busy, and knowing that like you could either be doing this, promoting your business still, not making money, or you could sit on your butt at home and
Not
not make
making,
any
yeah, yeah,
money.
yeah.
So it's just like, if you're enjoying what you're doing, you're crispening up your skills, you're doing good for people, like
Yeah,
you're helping people out. Uh, what building those relationships, man. Like
yeah,
as you know, like you're in this business, relationships are key. It's who you know. If you meet these people and you're good to them, they're most likely to going to come back
yeah,
to you. So doing these free projects, you could have done it for somebody that might should have probably paid for it because they
yeah.
had money or something, that in the future.
Yeah, and like yeah, but it's funny though that you said like sitting at home doing nothing. It seems though this is the year where
Yeah,
you can sit at home and still make money.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah. Or just sit at home and not make money. That's the issue. I
Well,
think.
I was kind of referring to like with like the government like
Yeah, yeah.
subsidies stuff like
Well, you
that.
know, and that's bad. See, it's obviously it was needed. This is totally off topic with the whole what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
But it's where I think it's really hard for, if we want to talk about small business owners, really hard for them, because they don't tend to be able to pay people very well. That's not like, it's not a knock on them or anything, but if you're running, like, let's say a mom and pop shop, and you're hiring teenagers that work
Yeah.
part time, you pay them minimum wage or just a bit above that,
Yeah.
they ain't coming back to work for you when they can get sent $1,000 every
No,
two
no, no,
weeks
no, no.
when literally that's more than they make. That's the issue
Yeah,
right
like
now.
being in my age group and I don't really know anybody in my age group who has their career job.
Yeah,
Um, but I do know a lot of people that actually were able to get a pay raise through
yeah.
these past few months.
That's because the companies kind of had to.
Yeah,
Why would people come back to work for that? It's especially young, if you're, unless you're driven. Like, why would you work for a job that you're not passionate about? Like,
yeah,
it's a job. There's difference. We know this. Jobs and careers are different. If you,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean you're happy if you're in a career, but they're totally different spectrum. So if you're telling somebody who's an average 18, 19-year-old kid that he could stay home, play video games, and do whatever he wants all day, or go work at Superstore.
for the same amount of money, or even sometimes even more for staying at home.
Yeah, yeah, and it's continuing. It's
Yeah,
continuing, and we don't know when this is going to end.
yeah,
But entrepreneurs right now, like, I've said this many times on the podcast itself, is it's a really weird mentality right now, because entrepreneurs have always been go getters, but this has hit people in the face like a ton of bricks, that either they continue to go hard and adapt, or they're just handcuffing and just giving up.
yeah,
There's not many floaters, like the people that just kind of get by. It's either boom or like sink.
Yeah, and it depends a lot on your industry.
Yeah,
Like I would not have wanted to start a restaurant.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I would not have wanted to start a restaurant in January 2020.
yeah,
That would have been bad.
yeah. Or like if it's like a takeout restaurant, different. I think they're doing well.
Yeah,
Takeout's doing great right now. But yeah, sit down restaurants, pubs,
yeah,
nightclubs. I mean, like even us, it's scary. Like it was, it's picking up. I think entrepreneurs are kind of leaving their home offices again because they just need that. It's communication, meeting people.
yeah,
Only you can only do so many Zoom calls, so it's picking up. But like our whole thing is community and bringing people together. What
yeah,
is COVID?
yeah,
COVID is the opposite of
yeah,
that. So, but it's starting. It's like it is. People are gonna need that normality, even if it's not here.
yeah,
It's yeah, it's good to be in communication with people again. But yeah, like you making these relationships, doing these free projects, and building your brand during these crazy times while others are just like handcuffing and giving up. That's you're so young and you're so driven now. Like just you're gonna just keep climbing, man. Like
yeah, yeah.
that's amazing. Like I can't say anything but positive about about what you're doing.
Thank
You
you.
have that like inner like drive to do this.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Um, so you started off with just you doing these projects. You've kind of hired a few people now.
Yeah, on top of hiring, there's I got a partner involved.
Yeah,
He's involved in one of the owners in like a very big hockey school.
yeah,
That hockey school also owns like gyms or eight like Innovative Fitness. They own one of the franchises there, and he's kind of come on. He's been very helpful. And then we also got like people other than me filming, people other than me managing social media, stuff like that. And like just recently, we actually put out a little thing a little while ago. Like we need some more people.
yeah.
We need some more people. Like I can only be in one place at one time, so we like can't be in two places at the same time. So we need some more people right now.
Yeah, that's really cool, dude. I like. Has it been like? Have you been noticing like a lot more small businesses investing in this like in this marketing because they want to continue to
Yeah,
build?
yeah, like I think so too, and I think COVID was like an eye opener for them.
Yeah,
But then yeah, like I think when we kind of changed our business model to like this package all together, target small businesses, everything you need, photos and videos too. It's like we've been kind of be able to teach, and like we don't when I go to meetings with people, like I don't sell, I teach.
hmm
Like I teach them like this is what's going on. Like I'm not telling you to buy this. I'm telling you shouldn't do this. I'm just telling you this what's going on. You can make the decision on now if you want us or not. Um, and I've gotten better at kind of teaching people and showing them that like if you spend an hour a day on social media and that you value your time at $20 an hour, most business owners value their time much more than that. 7 days a week, that equates to 365 days a year. You times that by 20, that's $7,280 of potential like hourly pay that you could have put towards, you know, other aspects of your business that you're much better at because a lot of business owners like they don't know social media. They don't know that
yeah,
stuff. So you like in a way spent over 7 grand and like our services, like the majority of our clients come in below 7 grand a year.
yeah,
So like it's to me it's like a no brainer. It's just kind of teaching like the other people that we talk to and stuff that
yeah. How
yeah.
did you get into like the like you say you got now you're into the marketing thing? Did like you have like a background in like took some courses and stuff?
Yeah, so I taken a little bit of courses at like I took a course at BCIT digital marketing. That was kind of an interesting course. I on a personal level didn't agree with a lot of the things that they were teaching in the class. I just noticed that from what I've experienced, like that's not where I saw success. Like it was digital marketing, but like everything in the school system, it's usually outdated information. I think that was a great course for 2010. I think
Yeah,
a lot has changed here in 2020, and I think marketing is different online now
yeah,
in 2020. And then other than that, like it was the e-commerce, running Facebook ads, stuff like that that I learned, and then just social media, like seeing the benefit through my companies. Like we get a large percentage of our clients through social media, and it's just kind of learning like that, like always learning YouTube videos. Like I mean, by definition, I'd be self-taught, but really, it's been YouTube, Professor YouTube, that's taught me
yeah,
how to do a lot of the things that I do in business and I guess life experiences.
Yeah, I think it's moving towards more what you present instead of the diploma on the wall or the certificate. I
Yeah.
think people are starting to just like not that they don't care about schooling, but if you are somebody who is making better product who
Oh
didn't go
yeah,
to
and like
school over the person who went to school, right? Like it's a
yeah, like and we like we're getting into like the hiring process and we're looking and we've kind of had some people reach out to us and stuff, and we've kind of had some people to reach out to us and be like, "Oh, I get A's, I'm a straight A student, and I'm taking finances and all that stuff, or whatever it is."
yeah,
And I'm like, "Okay,
yeah,
like, well, can you make a video? Like,
yeah,
can you take photos?
yeah,
I don't care." I personally, I mean, I understand like there is the correlation to if you're a D student, maybe that reflects on like your overall work ethic, stuff like that. So like, there's a little bit of that, but like, if you're an A student or a B student or a C student or a D student, doesn't matter to me as long as you can do what I need you to do.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I went to school for music production, and I actually had one of the teachers. We had a lot of people drop out after this semester, surprisingly, because one of the teachers actually said this. He's like, after you've done this, you'll realize that getting this certificate means nothing. That it's the music you're making that's gonna
Yeah.
sell. If you're a kid who's 14 years old making just bangers out of your basement,
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you present that to a record label. They don't care if you went to school.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just it's kind of working to that, and it's a do-it-yourself nature world right now. Like everything is, if you can do it yourself, do it. People are do like business owners, entrepreneurs. Like you said it earlier. I don't know if it was while we've been recording, but you said it earlier that they kind of have to be a multiple bunch of things
Yeah.
because if they didn't, they'd have to pay a bunch of people to do this for them. So like picking up graphic design when you can't, picking up this. It's like
Yeah.
a multi-universe of things you have to do.
Yeah.
Um, it's kind of that's how the world is going towards. And the old saying is it's who you know, not what you know.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of both. So if you know people and you know and you've taught yourself
Yeah.
what you need to know, it's way more valuable than oh I went to this school, I got this certificate on the wall because that certificate doesn't say A student. That certificate could have been a C student
Yeah.
that still got through the course. So I don't
Mhm.
care about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I do like I always get, sometimes pushback from people in my circle cuz like like I'm kind of an anomaly within my circle and stuff. And like I was into a very like well respected top business school up at SFU, but I left after 3 months just because it wasn't for me. It was 100. I was told this story. It was kind of my turning point. There's 100 kids in the class. We spent 1 hour out of the entire semester talking about entrepreneurship. Teacher asked before the class begins, "How many of you are thinking of being entrepreneurs or running your own business?" I was the only kid who raised my hand
Yeah,
out of like 100 kids, which is just like, and I was like, "Okay, maybe I'm in the wrong spot here."
yeah,
But I do understand that like there is huge value in getting that education if like that's what you want to do. Because I think if you're like a big company and like I think school trains you well on how to like respond to orders,
yeah,
like how to like you know what I mean. And then when you're like an accountant for a top business firm, like you need to like respond to orders, or if you're like in the finance, like you need to like be good at like be well trained at how to like be given specific tasks and like executing those tasks like just like you do every day in school, like you're given tasks and you have to figure out and be taught to learn and how to execute those tasks.
yeah,
So I do think that like if you're pursuing like a job in the corporate world, like there is that value in school. I think a lot of people, like if people in my close circle are listening to this podcast, they'd be like, I've never heard him say this before.
yeah,
Because me at a personal level, like I don't I don't see the huge value in a big, nice, shiny piece of paper
yeah.
for me, but that's just what I want to do, and that's my personal life. But
Yeah.
I do see like the value for like other
It
people,
depends on the it depends on the
yeah,
where they're at, like what kind
and
of
what they're
business it is.
pursuing, yeah,
Yeah, like you don't want somebody who's like, yeah, I'm good with numbers, dude, and I have no accounting history, but I'm
yeah,
really good with it. I promise you, I'm good with it. You don't have that certificate, people are not going to hire you. But when it comes to like, I think more of artistic,
Yeah,
like
and
more
like
of a like creative side. Like
another thing is like I know like there's an old saying that's like A students work for C students,
yeah,
which is just like
it's very true.
yeah,
It is very true.
yeah,
And sometimes those C students, it has nothing to do with how good they are at things. It's your mind isn't in that place of this structure of this and this. You're thinking about something that either you're passionate about or something that like you a way you want to go.
yeah,
You know the school system is so like it's they take the basics out of every subject, teach you those basics, and expect kids to know what they like and like know what they want to
yeah, and
learn.
yeah. Another thing about the school system is like I guess it's one kind of quote I've heard is like they teach you how to. It's like like a metaphor, I guess. It's like they teach you how to climb a tree. Whether you're a tree climber or a fish, they're gonna teach you how to climb a tree. So if
Yeah,
like you're a fish being judged on your ability to climb a tree, you're perceived as like stupid,
yeah,
but you're a great swimmer. Like,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like that's just like a stupid analogy,
And,
but like yeah,
and I mean the way it's going with basically trying to make kids feel like they're equal on all aspects of
oh.
everything. That's not going to teach you. That's a whole other
Yeah, I
topic.
got
But
I got a lot of
it,
opinions on that
yeah,
topic,
and
but I'm not
that's
gonna go
kind
down
of
that road.
where it's going. It's
I
just
think there should be winners and losers in
there
everything.
has to be.
Yeah,
It's life.
and I've been on the loser side a lot of times.
Uh,
Like I
um,
played 14 years of, for the most part, high level hockey.
yeah,
I've never won a hockey tournament.
yeah,
Never won, like from the little tournaments to the big playoffs. Never won playoffs. Only got into playoffs on my very last year. Yeah, like I was a loser in the hockey world all the
yeah.
time. But like,
It teaches you life.
yeah,
It doesn't matter. Yeah, they gotta let kids be good at what they're good at and bad at what they're bad at. Like they can continue to work on what they're bad at if they want to, but everybody's different and everybody has what they're good at
yeah,
and what they should not. I don't want to say concentrate on that. It's always good to work at what you want to get better at, but you can't tell a kid that they're all equal. Like let the kid who's gonna get first place on sports day let him get that ribbon because most likely he's not getting the A on the test that the kid who came in last and that
yeah,
in that sports day got. Like just I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It does happen. You have straight A students who are crazy athletes too.
yeah,
Obviously, there's stereotypes there, but it's just you gotta let kids shine, even like adults shine in places that they're good at, and teach them that they need to get better in other
yeah,
places. Because yeah, once they hit the real world, like we already know how flawed it is with what they're actually getting taught. But once you hit that real world, and your boss isn't gonna be like hires a bunch of people, and then at once, and then it there's a crop of really good workers, a crop of medium workers, a crop of crap workers, and
yeah.
it's like you guys are all equal. It's fine. Like do what you
Oh
do.
yeah,
You guys are all great.
yeah,
No, those guys are getting fired, right? So it's gonna be crazy in 20 years when these adults are going into the real world and want to be cushioned because it's not a cushiony world.
yeah,
And I like we haven't really talked about this since we've been filming. You also are a hockey coach,
yeah.
so that's you as well. You're teaching. How is it being a coach during these times that we were just talking about how kids can't shine and kids can't like or they have to stay like kind of level headed and equal. How is it?
Well, yeah, it's different. Like everybody's different in that. Like not to put stereotypes, but what I've noticed in like minor hockey and like maybe more like city run hockey program and stuff, it's very like everybody wins. But I work for like a private company, so like when I'm on the ice and I'm the coach, there's first place and there's last place.
Yeah,
There's like there's a winner and there's a loser. So it's like it's by coach. When you kind of get that like old school coach, like there's gonna be first place, there's gonna be winners, and there's if they're old school enough, they'll even tell you that you're a loser as well.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, like me personally, like it's just coach by coach. It's different, but yeah, like generally speaking, like the city run programs are
yeah. Well, I mean, if you're a private coach, those parents are paying extra for their kids to get extra
yeah,
training.
it's like extra additional
Usually,
training.
those kids are serious about it and can take the little bit
Yeah,
of
but the one thing is kind of that market that we target, or like that hockey company targets, and it's similar to kind of the market, like what we do, what we're doing at Wilson Media, is they don't target like the top end. So like in our world, we don't target like the big businesses.
yeah,
They kind of target like the beginner up to the top end.
yeah,
Like they have tons of top end players, but they also have tons of like beginner players. So like they kind of target like that different market, and they kind of take them by the masses instead of taking like all five elite kids.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and that's kind of like what we're doing. It's like we're not taking the huge corporations, like we're taking all, like the smaller businesses and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
trying to take them by the masses.
And you feel more proud when you're doing those projects with those
Yeah, well,
small.
you see like huge progress. Like
Yeah,
kids will step on the ice for the first time in a 10-week program and then be like so much better by the time they leave. Like especially at that younger age,
yeah,
they step on the ice, they can't even skate.
yeah,
At the end of it, they're just skating around cones, stick handling, and shooting. Like
yeah.
it's kind of sometimes crazy to see.
Yeah, and it's like obviously the parents want them to do well, or the kids are trying to take that next step. It's like for some of them, it's like a final puzzle piece. Not final, you always adapt to get better, but like a final puzzle piece to clue in somewhere. Like just like, oh, this is what I should be doing with my
Yeah,
skills. This is what I should be doing in this
yeah,
moment of like the game or whatever. But like using that coaching mentality and bringing it into your business, like and just being a leader and being a teacher, like you
yeah.
said.
And that's another thing that I've had to begin learning. Like for the longest time, up until recently, it was me. It was like me, and now I'm kind of switching into more of like a management role.
Yeah,
Is like instead of like trying to figure out my schedule, like oh, how am I gonna make it over there? How am I gonna make it over there? I gotta be like, okay, I gotta talk to people. You need to go over there. You need to go over there. And yeah, like kind of learning this like new kind of slowly. Like it's gonna be a long transition before it's strictly management, but it's different. Like I'm learning like a management, become a manager, like
yeah,
people, and like I know like they say emotional intelligence is like the biggest thing you have when you're a leader. Like learning that some people need to be told that they're an idiot. Some people need to be told, okay, that was a great effort, but we need to try this
yeah.
different way. And it's like it's a hard balance between telling them that like being nice about it, but like also being like that was not good enough.
Yeah, there's a really hard level of being a boss of either being a prick or a pushover, and that's there's really hard to kind of be that middle ground where
Yeah,
you
and but what I'm gonna try and do is as I continue to evolve, my business continues to evolve, is like I'm gonna really put some time and effort and really study my kind of employees and like have a different put on a different mask. That kind of sounds bad, but a different mask for each employee.
yeah,
So like some employees might be like you're an idiot,
yeah,
do better. Or some employees I might complete the different approach, but be able to like switch for each employee so each employee is performing at their best potential and
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's this. It's like it's human nature. It's communications with people. You get to know them. You know how they're gonna react to things. Usually, if you're closer to people, you're meaner to people. That's a weird fact about like humans.
Yeah.
Is if you like with your friends, if let's say you hired a buddy or something, and he screws up, you're really quick to call him an idiot and
Yeah.
like shut him down, not being like, okay, you got to try better next time,
Yeah.
right? So it's like the more you know somebody, usually the harder you are on them.
Yeah.
And sometimes you become closer, just like anybody, closer with certain employees than you will with other employees. It's like even if like it has nothing to do with their work ethic, but just personally, you get along better. And usually those are the people that you can have that more of that tell them off
Yeah.
mentality as a boss. Um, but yeah, it's that like I said, it's that middle ground. I was in management for years, so like it's that middle ground of really reading your staff and not allowing the people that are going to try to push over you and like get away with stuff. Not dealing with that, but also not being that like person that they don't want to work for. And you're never going to get people working well if they hate you,
Yeah.
right? It's never going to work. You're going to get the worst work out of them.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, it's crazy what you're doing, man. Are you like working on any cool projects right now you want to talk about? Are you allowed to talk about?
Yeah, I allowed to talk about it on a surface level. I mean, specific projects in particular, like the way our business is structured is we got lots going on all the time. Like we're like an agency who runs on like a month to month basis. So yeah, like another thing though is kind of just naturally, and especially through that quarantine period when I was working for free and with my sports background, like I love playing sports still to this day. Um, Instead of like hockey as much now, it's more like beach volleyball and like spike ball stuff like that. Like I love playing spike ball. But we kind of just naturally gravitated towards a lot of sports clients. So we work with basketball companies, we work with martial arts companies, lacrosse companies, hockey companies. So yeah, it's always cool to work with those sports companies. Um, Yeah, that's generally speaking. We don't have a. Do we? No, in the next little while, we don't have any big one-off like multiple location shoots coming up. So
Yeah.
nothing like cool in maybe that sense. But yeah, like just like we love all our clients. We treat every client, whether they're a $200 client or a $2,000 clients, they're all the same to us.
Yeah, wicked man. Where can we find you? Where can we find your accounts, your website, everything?
Short answers everywhere.
Yeah,
We have every social media. So we got LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
yeah,
Um, the hotspots are LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook for us.
yeah.
Um, www.wilsonmedia.ca. Yeah, that's our website, and yeah, that's pretty much where you can find
Cool,
us.
cool. Definitely check that out. Yeah, like TikTok, eh? Has that
Yeah,
worked for you guys at all? Like, I don't know how that is with as a marketing. Like,
yeah, like we try everything. Like I like to try everything. TikTok wasn't like it's not huge for us. LinkedIn on a personal level is huge for us, and Instagram and Facebook too. Like that's kind of like the three main spot.
yeah,
We just kind of tried into it. Like I know a lot of other people have found success on TikTok. I find the people that have more success on TikTok are kind of like those single videographers.
yeah,
So if I was like Dylan the videographer, maybe I would have seen more success kind of just being like Dylan on
yeah,
TikTok. But like as a marketing agency with like several
yeah,
employees and stuff, and no matter how many employees we have, I always envision myself as kind of being like the brand behind the company.
yeah,
But still, like we're not like it's not just me. So
yeah.
yeah, we've had like satisfactory
Yeah,
like
I
success
think
with
like
TikTok.
TikTok is more for like influencers and like
Yeah,
just people that become famous as TikTok. Like that's what they
yeah,
do is I'm a TikToker or
yeah,
whatever. I have a friend who has actually he's always been into like he's an influencer on social media and always trying to build a brand, build a brand. He was always doing pretty good. TikTok happened and he just like that's been
yeah,
his bread and butter. So like yeah, I wondered that's why I asked like TikTok business and TikTok. I'm like I don't know how that would work, but cool to try it out. I mean, just
yeah. And we like tried everything. Like we're very like out, and me and our personal level, like very outside the box. Like try it, like just try
yeah,
it and see how it goes.
that's wicked, man. Cool. Anything else you want to say today?
Covered so much in the past talking here. I can't. Yeah,
No, that's
I
cool,
think I'm
man.
good. Yeah, like I'm trying to think here. I can't. Like we've covered so much.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man.
That's
I
kind of all I wanted. Like I wanted to share. Like I
it,
just wanted to share things. Like I could go into the details on why you should work with us, but I don't think that has a whole lot of
yeah,
value to the people listening. Like so, I
yeah,
just like to kind of share stuff that they could have value for. They're gonna want to listen to and stuff like that.
yeah, and just check out his stuff. Check out his company. I mean, it's an amazing mind and amazing just uh viewpoint. I think like you have a lot going for you, man. Like you definitely are. You said it, an anomaly. I said it earlier, where you are a 19-year-old kid with such a good vision,
Thank you.
and you've done so much already that like the sky's the damn limit. So,
Thanks.
keep going, man. Check his stuff out. To check like, some cool videos that I've watched, and yeah, just check out the company. Thanks, man. Thanks for
Awesome.
joining
Yeah, it's
us.
a pleasure.
Thanks for watching another edition of PoCommunity. Have a good one.
Great.